Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderland Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Beyond Our Rule Ripper, and last time we had the 7th Council. We messed up, we ended up being stabbed. Now we're going to undo that wrong and do better. We're going to get good. Let's get good. So, I can skip all of this at the beginning and then I intervened. Okay, so hang on. Skip. Turns out that Poker is the murderer. I didn't think that was what was going to go down. Is it possible that he's still not the murderer? I don't think so. Right, so I've got to intervene. That's what I did, right? Enough. Hit. Listen. Okay, we can skip this until we get to... Oh, hang on. Oh, was there a thing to intervene? Did I do that last time? Here, and then we have a choice. Just play the whole game like this and make it much quicker. Okay. Hurry up. Okay, so last time we did this. We're not going to do that this time, we're going to do this. Do nothing. He could not bring himself to cross that red line, no matter how much anger he felt. Then, it wasn't what Lime would have wanted. So I'm not doing it. Right as he was about to drop his barman, the Grim Reaper appeared. That's how that message looked to him anyways, now that he knew his number. Initiated against Rule 4. Even so, he managed to keep himself somewhat calm, knowing that it was unlikely anyone knew it, or at least so he thought. As long as he didn't know anyone's data and hints, he couldn't dismiss the possibility that his death had arrived. Additionally, 2 numbers had already been confirmed to everyone, 2 more thanks to the message, plus their own. Therefore, each player only had to consider 5 numbers, or even less if they had an ally like he did. He already knew everyone's number except for cocktail, cigar, piano, and vodka. However, that wasn't the best time to be thinking about it. Thanks to his link with coffee, Rule 6, he wasn't forced to abstain from voting. Darts was still alive, despite being absent. According to the rules, that meant that he would abstain automatically. Was voting Poker a good idea? If he was accused, he would have to reveal his number, ending his charade by force. On the other hand, if that happened, Rule 6 would protect him in future councils. Ironically, his ally, though precisely because of that, that rule wouldn't apply to him anymore. Could he and Coffee remove him later if necessary? The real question was if he was capable of killing anyone. Inevitably, the possibility of voting himself and ending it all entered his brain. But the rules didn't allow for self-accusations. He was relieved he didn't have to seriously consider that option. If they forced Poker to reveal his number, the council's direction would shift entirely. It was the only way to reveal it in a way he couldn't possibly deny it. Is that a good idea, though? He could barely stand the fact that everyone knew the truth, yet no one dared to confront it. He couldn't bear it much longer. Prolonging it would only allow Poker to keep acting freely with no repercussions. However, the alternative could lead them to the game's tragic end. The time to think was running out. His decision was to... Right, hang on. So if I accuse Poker... will that balance things out? If I don't accuse him... and I get accused by somebody, that's no good. So maybe my goal is to accuse Poker, even though it seems antithetical to the first option I had. I guess if I do this, then I will have another bad ending that we can come back to. Alright, let's accuse Poker. put an end to that farce regardless of what would await them beyond it. Accusal finished. Poker's obtained a majority vote. Poker's not for. Okay. Well, now that's a surprise. Now he has to say, I'm Rule 1. The truth had been unchained. I can't believe he's Rule 1. I still don't believe it. Funnily enough, following the initial shock and the tension around the table began to diminish, Bill felt like a weight had gone away. Yet, that was the only first step. That was the first step. Normally, exposing the murderer marked the end of a story, in their case. Despite being the end of the mystery, it was also the start of a much bigger challenge. Was that a trap? Oops. Should I have done something? Trap. What trap? Whoa. So I clicked to say nothing. Is that what's happening here? Poker was probably the one who began the accusation, hoping to protect himself. With Rule 6. Am I supposed to click here? Oh, okay, yeah, click there. To do nothing. Who knows? So does that mean that now we can't kill him? Well, that would depend on who voted for me. I feel like I'm supposed to be clicking on these, but that doesn't matter right now. We aren't planning on killing you. Give everyone a death stare. This is not going well. Am I doing the wrong thing? Huh? Now you can kill in the open. Whichever one survives will be the winners. This can't be a good thing. Ha, easy for you to say, big guy. I'm not ashamed to admit that I took the method with the highest likelihood of my survival without having to bloody my hands. Stare at you. Is this a bad thing? Ain't that nice? You're in luck though. No going back now. I'll keep going until there's only 3 of us left, and then we'll finally be able to leave. Hit! Huh, what's happening? Poker! Huh? What's got into you now? I'm done. I can't take this anymore. Do you feel nothing for the people that you've killed? No guilt? And why gin? Ignore that I stumbled over my words then. Huh? What happened to that friendship with her? Was it all fake? Don't make that face. Take off that mask. Who are you really? We barely knew each other. There was never any friendship. I can see that. You're lucky you got that number. The owner knew what they were doing, giving it to a psycho. Get him. I'm not a... Everything I've done was to survive. I've been saying it since the start. Sure, we'd just met, but I got no enjoyment out of this. Anyone in my place would have had to choose. Kill or be killed. Can any of you despise the old man? Besides the old man, look me in the eyes and tell me what you've that you'd have chosen death. And you despise the old man? Hey! No one, right? That doesn't answer my question. The game allows for 3 survivors. You could have survived with her. She was the 9. She could have been your ally. Not only that, Rule 9 would have allowed you to kill others indirectly. However, to make the link, Rule 10 needed to die first. Was that the reason? Think whatever you want. So you don't care what we think of you, then? Nothing I say could change your mind, anyways. In that I agree. No explanation would change what you did. So you finally have the killer you hate so much. Now what? Will you accuse me? Handcuff me? Or will you let me continue my job? So you can decide who lives and who doesn't. If you're against that, you already know where the accusal button is, kid. Oh. So I could press the accusal button. Come on, you've still got time. Seems like he's, baiting me? Or is Rule 6 in the way? Bill took a look at the group. Their faces said it all. Be it due to Rule 6 not wanting to remove Rule 1 or not wanting to kill, no one was willing to do it, and he wasn't an exception. Poker was certain. If anyone had been willing to do it, it would have already happened. Also, do I do it or not? Otherwise, how about we end the council? I lost my opportunity to do it. No, I won't let you get away from this. Bill, I understand your frustration, but... Does it flash still? No. It does let me go up there. Are you really going to leave your lives in his hands? In his hands? In his hands? What other choice is there? She still thinks it smells. In order to survive, winning the game, or do you actually have a good reason to believe that poker will spare you? Do you have a reason? We can decide right now. What reasons can you give me to save your lives? Ooh, one of these again. What's happening? Oh. What? I have my family. I can win without your help. Am I supposed to do... Oh, I see. He's playing with us. Reason, you say? Not at all for me. He's just having a good time. Maybe he's the owner. Just putting into the council for now. Play with you. Sure, this is a game after all. Oh. Which one did I do then? Did I do the right thing? I figured I should do pokers, but I don't know if I did. Our lives aren't a toy you can play with. Did I do pokers, or did I guess I must have. Tell that to the one who puts us here. I would if I could. I'm sure they're listening to every word we say. Complain all you want, but don't expect anything to change. I thought you were against playing his game. You said you hated it, and this cage, but now you seem to be his obedient pet. Does not like that. My hate hasn't changed. I hate it as much as you. It's just... Save your excuses if you're gonna kill. Just do it. The decisive words stuck to his throat. He didn't have the courage to say it. A simple provocation like that would be enough to set him off. He would never be able to change his mind. He was fully aware of it. They'd been condemned to be enemies until the game's end. One survival linked to the other's demise. They could not coexist, nor could their ideals. If I'm gonna kill... what? If you're not gonna kill us now, let's end the council. That's not what you were going to say. Man, those guts didn't last you long. What a shame. Alright. We can end it here if you're all okay with that. I'll make my choice ASAP. Before it's Rule 4's turn, that is. Billiard's close to tears. The feeling that he was letting the killer escape was killing him inside, but he couldn't do anything about it yet. Would that be any different in the next hour or next council? What can I do? What am I willing to do? Is this the end? Poker requested the council's closure. Nobody voted against it. Thus the third stage of the game began. Poker's reign of terror. Messaging is only allowed when responding to a received message. Huh. Oh. Is that who Dots was? Huh? Beyond R. Rule Ripper. Quick save. Look at all these save slots. Goodbye. That was the first thing he said when I found him that day. Not hi, not even a how are you. Just goodbye. Then he turned his back to me. I tried to go after him, obviously, trying to find answers, but once again I got none. That was the last time I saw him. Again, that scene keeps repeating itself. Am I seriously never going to wake up from this nightmare? Perhaps sentenced to relive it again and again? No, I've had enough of it. Back then I swore that it would be the last time. I won't repeat that mistake. That life has already taken enough. I'll escape. I'll wake up. And yet no matter how much I keep running from it, the dream doesn't end. It might be a part of me. Maybe I've been dreaming ever since the accident, or I'm just cursed. Or maybe it's... Dead man's hand. What do you mean? The two were silent, sitting facing one another, same as usual. However, the reason for the silence wasn't. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, barman, I'll put you away. The relationship still wasn't quite friendly, but for the first time that discomfort wasn't the fault of either of them. The truth that Bill had been seeking for hours had finally appeared. And yet it wasn't something to celebrate. If anything, things seemed worse than before. He didn't know what to do with that truth now that he had it. Coffee, meanwhile, was quite sure of what she wanted to do, though she already knew that her ally wasn't on her side. Perhaps they really were the problem after all, or at the very least, he was. He was her biggest hope to survive, but also her biggest problem. One more worrying than an uncovered murderer. Than an uncovered murderer. One more worrying than an uncovered murderer. You can't stay like this forever. I already made up my mind. You're the one who hasn't. Choose. Between me and them. Between us or them. The answer was obvious. It had to be. He only had to abandon his hopes of saving everyone else, of all players escaping the game together. To accept the rules of that new nightmare he'd woken up to, and that everything he'd done up to that point had been in vain. But there was a crucial difference between knowing the right choice and knowing the appropriate choice. He knew there was a mental barrier he had to cross, but he couldn't do it. It really wasn't a matter of lack of ability, but of will. wanting to yet incapable, capable yet not wanting to. Maybe that was how reality was, and he was a kid. No, maybe that was how reality was, and he was the kid, dreaming that the world was painted with a different set of colours. Was it a matter of innocence? Maturity? Memories from his last conversation alone with Lime resurfaced from a whirlpool of dreams and nightmares. She kept saying he was special, someone with a laudable attitude. It was clearly different from the rest, or was it truly something worthy of praise? And neither could he avoid remembering even farther back. The words of the one he'd considered his brother. Where would he be now? How was his life? What would he do in this situation? He started taking refuge in those memories. Yes, they were bittersweet, but he still missed them. Perhaps what he had taught him back then was what was chaining him to that moral dilemma. He couldn't help but feel envious of everyone else, even Poker. They could seemingly make choices that condemn others without feeling so conflicted. He desired freedom, but didn't want to break the chains that were binding him to his dreams. They weren't real, yet he could feel the weight of those shackles, and if nothing changed soon, he would never be able to wake up again. Coffee has to hate me for this. He was starting to feel that way himself, at least. He honestly questioned his own mental state. Was he scared of the guilt? Hadn't Poker taken that weight off of him? He was the villain. Even though he wasn't their kidnapper, they could easily blame him for every death so far and yet to come. He was the ideal scapegoat. He wouldn't end up in jail if he won the game, not even if Rule 4 killed them. He wasn't responsible for poisoning them after all. He'd considered all those reasons from the start of the game, but they were never the real motive behind his obsessive determination. It couldn't simply be due to his personality or his nature. Mere stubbornness, unable to change his mind and admit that he was wrong. Still, even if he couldn't confirm that there really was no way to save everyone, there wasn't much doubt left in him that even if it existed, he couldn't make it a reality. He'd been incapable. That was his reality. Maybe he really was being too innocent. Even though he understood the situation, he still couldn't get rid of the futile idea that a happy ending was possible. Give me a moment. I'll give you an answer before the council. The answer was already clear. But before he could say it, he needed to break away from those chains. And there was only one way. Talking with someone. One person in particular with whom he had gotten somewhat close to. Oh. Excuse me. Who is it? Cigar? Oh, no. Hello, vodka. Ah, boy. Did I wake you up?
Couldn't say for sure. I'm somewhat worn out. More so than usual.
If that's the case, then...
No, don't worry. It's not the right time to be sleeping anyways. And there wouldn't be much of a point to it. Did you want something from me?
Yes, actually.
Come then. Sit down with me. Seeing you standing up is making me even more tired.
Alright. He sat next to him while still trying to find the right words to use. Although talking about his alliance with Coffee was out of the question, the details weren't needed, just the conclusion. I'm afraid that I'll have to break our promise.
Promise? What are you on about?
Did you forget?
My screws aren't that loose yet, of course I haven't. But there was no promise made.
Maybe not a formal one.
This is about you saving everyone, right? That ship already sailed hours ago. Our numbers are going down, and yet, here I remain. Oh, the humanity.
Still, I wanted to keep my word. Even if it can't be everyone anymore. But the situation I've ended up in makes it impossible.
That's life, son. Do you have any particular reason for telling me this, though?
It might not be important to you, but I didn't want to let what I said back then turn into a lie. I wanted to make it true. Forgive me.
I'm not a priest. I can't forgive sins. If you're looking for somebody to forgive you, perhaps you should start with yourself. We've all had a goal in life that never worked out. Welcome to the club. And if you need advice, I doubt I can provide it either. Wisdom comes with age, they say. Still haven't found it, though. I'm just an old fool. So if you feel like an idiot, don't worry. That club is accepting new members as well. And if for whatever reason you need to choose between my life and someone else's, you shouldn't need to hear my thoughts again. Although, it feels like the one with the real power here is that guy, Blackjack.
That's not his nickname.
I'm pulling your leg, son. You should stop taking everything I say seriously. Like, seriously. Who does that?
Bill had gotten the impression that Vodka was drowsy, but the lack of energy in his voice was starting to worry him. It really seems like you need to rest. I can bring you whatever you need.
Don't think alcohol will help.
That's not what I had in mind. There's got to be other things at the counter. Peanuts?
Ah, don't bother. I just want to chat, to be frank.
Chat about...
Wasn't there something you wanted to tell me?
I've already said all I wanted to say. Even if you think it's unnecessary, I wanted to apologize for my failure.
Then, have you given up?
No. He has kind of given up, though. No, I've not given up. No. Vodka closed his eyes and pondered for a few moments.
I see.
A sigh.
You really believe there's still hope?
It's not that. I know there's not. But accepting it isn't so simple.
Oh, right. So, that's what the problem is.
He nodded slightly, then looked straight at him.
Even if it hurts, you must accept it. The past cannot be changed, while the future is practically set in stone. Whoever the survivors are in the end, there'll be 3 or maybe 2. You can prolong this slow torture you're doing to yourself, asking if you could have changed things if you still can, or you can take the momentary pain of acceptance and be free. Cynic's advice: do the latter.
Was that cynicism simply a result of his age? Bill couldn't help but wonder. Speaking from experience.
Good question. Did I accept my lot in life, or did I simply stop caring?
Have you had a bad life? He didn't want to get too personal, but still felt the urge to ask. He quickly tried to correct himself. You don't need to answer.
No, it's alright. Like I said, I'm in the mood to chat. But before I ramble on, I'd like to know, has life been good to you, son?
Not really, but it could be worse, I think.
Worse than being here?
I was excluding this. While my childhood wasn't the best, recently I managed to get the life I wanted.
Got rich, perhaps?
No, my goal was pretty humble. A peaceful, ordinary life. That's all. His answer surprised the old man, whose eyes turned serious, bordering on anger. Alright.
You mentioned something of the sort hours ago. I figured it was your way of coping with bad luck, lowering your expectations in life to the point of reaching the bottom. Was that seriously your goal in life? That's all.
It's very modest, I know.
That's not modesty, son. It's...
His words were cut off by a sudden coughing fit. A bit worried, Bill moved closer to him. Do you need some water?
No. I'm fine. As I was saying, I'm baffled. I thought young folks like you were more ambitious.
Most of them are, I guess, but I was satisfied with stability. The opposite of this.
A stable life is nice, but too much comfort can be poisonous. Pun intended.
Huh? Why?
Life is meant to be lived. That should go without saying.
So having a normal life isn't living?
Since you asked, I'll tell you a bit about myself. And I guess we're going to find out more about Vodka next time on Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Beyond Our Rule Ripper, and I'll see you next time. Have a good evening to you. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.